What's going on, people? Today we're working on Bennett's engine that we finally have back from the machine shop. We finally have this motor back. We took it in December of last year, and we just got it 2 or 3 weeks ago, and it is currently May 12th, I think. Or the 13th. I think it's the 13th. May 13th. So, today we are working on the exhaust manifolds off his engine. And we're reusing the old ones because they're not cracked or anything. But the surface is really pitted. So we're going to use our milling machine to resurface the the flange on the exhaust manifold that bolts to the engine. And what we have set up here, we've got it set up with the flange down because I've taken a piece of angle iron and drilled 4 holes in it that line up with these 4 holes in the back of the exhaust manifold. This is where the heat shield bolts to them. And it's a flat surface. Well, pretty close to flat, but I'm going to go ahead and run this end mill along each one of these and make them all perfectly flat with the face of it, front to back, this way. And then we'll flip it over, bolt this to it, and then this will sit up like this, and it'll hold the exhaust manifold where we can face off the flange side. So, without talking anymore, I'm going to go ahead and get this thing machined. Alright, let's get going. Here we go. Gonna get our height set up. Gonna go up till we scratch 3,000. We're going to go 3 thousandths and see what that does. Okay, that's not quite enough. We're going to go to a total of 5 thousandths. See if that gets us leveled out. I like that. Alright, let's go to the next one. And we're going to keep that same height. We're going to go ahead and cut here. Cutting it like butter. There we go. Alright, so now we got all these perfectly flat with each other. So now I can unmount this and bolt our angle iron on. Alright, now we can bolt my piece of angle iron back on and get it mounted up. Yep. Now, let's put it up on the mill. Alright, now I'm gonna flip this thing over like this Set up a block here, and one in the center. Set it up just like that. Alright people, we've got this thing mounted up on the mill. It's actually the next day because yesterday I ended up getting sidetracked and wasn't able to work on this anymore. So we've got it set up in the mill with our blocks, and it is really close to flat this direction. So from this point on, we're gonna stick this new face mill, 4-inch face mill. This thing is beefy. We're gonna try using this first, and if it's too chattery, we might swap to a fly cutter. But we're gonna start off with this first and see what we can do. Set our 0 and probably take off about 5 thousandths per cut probably. So there's what it looks like after the first pass. We touched really good around this port, and then it quit touching all along the middle and started picking up again right here. So we're gonna take another 5 thousandths off and see what that looks like. Here's after the second pass, taking 10 thousandths total off so far, and we're still not even touching right here. This side's completely flattened out, but right here we still haven't touched right here. So we're gonna go another 5 thousandths pass and see if that'll clean it up. here we are after taking 15 thousandths off. We've now touched everywhere, but you can see all these lines and kind of imperfections in it as far as the surface finish, which it feels pretty smooth, but you can still feel some valleys and ridges with my finger. So to make sure the new gasket seals as good as possible, I'm going to swap this over to our fly cutter and take another maybe 1.5 thousandths off and see if I can get this perfectly smooth, which it's not going to be perfect, but see if I can get it a lot smoother. So I'm going to swap that over, and then we're going to try the fly cutter. There we go. Alright. I'm going to raise it up until our insert just barely touches it. Where is it? Right there. So right there is our 0. I was standing there for over 15 minutes. What? That's a lot better. Alright, here's what we look like after 15 minutes of using the fly cutter. It's not perfect, as you can see. There's a little bit of it's like the surface finish changed. But it feels pretty darn smooth. So it ought to be plenty good to seal up properly. Should be. So I'm gonna get a flappy wheel, like a flappy sanding wheel, get all these burrs off the edges, and then we're gonna call this one good and set the other one up. There we go. Got all the burrs off of it. Now time to unmount it. Well, there we go. Exhaust manifold number 1 complete. Now we're going to do the same thing to the other one. Alright, we got the other manifold. We got the heat shield off of it already. So now we're going to set it down like this on the table. Flatten these out. And I already showed you all that on the other one. So I'm going to set y'all up on a time lapse, and I'm going to get this one knocked out, and then we'll finish up. Here we go, people. This is the second manifold, and this time I decided to use just this face mill. We took a 10,000ths cut first to get it off flat, and then we turned it up. We went up 1 more thousandth and turned the speed up and took 1 more pass, and it is just as smooth, if not smoother, than the fly cutter that we used on the other manifold. So we're gonna call this one good. It took me a while longer because I ended up having to re-drill new holes in my angle iron because the holes on the back side of this manifold weren't the same as the other side. So that's these manifolds done, and that right there is how you can resurface manifolds if you have a Bridgeport style mill.
It's got to be a Bridgeport style.
I mean, that's pretty much all there is. I mean, Bridgeport was the original ones that made this style mill. So I guess they call it a knee mill or whatever they call these things, whatever the proper term is. But if you have a mill like this, this is a way that you could resurface some exhaust manifolds.
We call it a C-mill.
So hopefully y'all enjoyed that video, and if you did, please leave a like and subscribe. And the next video is going to be putting these manifolds on the engine block and putting that engine completely back together and putting it in our buddy Bennett's truck. So we'll see y'all on the next one.